Hello, clever people, and welcome to my review for The Invisible Man. So The Invisible Man is a Blumhouse horror movie, and it's a remake of the classic 1940s or 50s movie, also by the same name. This one doesn't really follow the same story, though. It takes place in a more modern setting, and it follows this woman, played by Elizabeth Moss, after she has run away from a very abusive boyfriend. And after she ran away, he ended his life. However, she still feels his presence all around her, and eventually she discovers that he has made himself invisible and is continuing to torment her. The Invisible Man was a movie I was really looking forward to after the reviews came out. They were absolutely shining. I thought the trailers were okay, and I thought that really the movie could go either way. And once the reviews came out and they were so overwhelmingly positive, I was really excited for this one. And unfortunately, I did feel a bit let down. I don't think that The Invisible Man is quite as good as everybody is saying. And when I mean everybody, I mean literally everybody. I don't know a single person that disliked this movie. Everybody seems to have really enjoyed it. And I don't hate this movie, I just think that it's okay. I mean, it's definitely got some good features in it. I think there are certain scenes in here that are just phenomenal. Particularly, there's a hallway scene where, I don't want to spoil the context of it, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. The hallway scene, which is like a one take, is absolutely exceptional. It is such a great example of how to build suspense, and it's like the right way to use the one take. It doesn't feel tacky at all. It feels very natural. And Elizabeth Moss is fantastic in this movie. She carries this whole movie on her shoulders. And beyond that, I don't think that this movie had a whole lot else going for it. I think in a lot of the scenes, the acting can be really poor. I thought that the movie was very strange when it started out. I feel like the relationships between the characters felt very stilted and weird and disconnected, especially with the family that she's staying with. Towards the beginning of the movie, that felt so awkward to me and so terribly written. And overall, I just didn't feel a whole lot of suspense out of this movie until basically like 2/3 or maybe 3/4 through the movie. And that's a problem, especially when you have a suspense movie like this. And it's mostly because beyond just, her going through a traumatic situation and the great performance that Elizabeth Moss gives, the lead character doesn't have a whole lot going for her. I don't think that she was developed past just traumatic event survivor. And because of that, I didn't have anything to latch onto with her. I didn't feel any connection with her. And honestly, I felt like she could be a boring character at times. There are good things about this movie, though, as I said earlier. And one thing I didn't mention earlier was the cinematography. It's fantastic all the way throughout. The way that they use the dead space, really, it just made me yearn for maybe another version of this movie where they play around a bit more with the idea that since nobody can see this man, she spends more time doubting herself. Because I feel like she decided that it was him almost like way too early in the movie, and I wish that there was more time given for her to start questioning and doubting it. And I think it would have made a really interesting midpoint in the movie if she suddenly realizes, like, she finds something in particular and she suddenly realizes that there's no doubt in her mind that it's this person. I think that would have been a way better way to build suspense than the way that this movie did. So in the end, The Invisible Man isn't great, it isn't terrible, it's just kind of an in-the-middle movie, and I definitely do think it's getting overhyped. I will give The Invisible Man a 5 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for The Invisible Man. So, what are your thoughts on this movie, or what do you think of the original from like the 40s? Comment in the comment section below, and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.